Let's discuss these latest developments in the Gaza ceasefire now with Sultan Barakat. He's a professor of public policy at Hamad bin Khalifa University, joining us from Johannesburg, South Africa. Thank you so much for your time. Before we get into the International Stabilisation Force, I just wanted to get your overall sentiment about this resolution that was approved at the Security Council yesterday. Is it a meaningful step towards ending the war, as some countries claim, or is it a dangerous encroachment on Palestinian sovereignty?
Well, in principle, it's a good thing because it's one of the clearest mandates so far that has spoken about the Palestinian self-determination and the potential of a state, and it's kind of laid out a broad roadmap. Now, a lot depends on the understanding and the implementation by all sides, and in particular by Israel, who until now has not really observed carefully the 20-point plan by Trump. They have given themselves the freedom to continue attack selectively in certain areas of Gaza, to force security the way they understand it. And I think that has very much undermined the trust amongst the Palestinians in the plan in general. And probably this is why now Hamas is revisiting its position on the stabilization force.
Right.
Their rejection. Sorry.
I was going to ask you about Israel. You mentioned the Israelis, and it's interesting that the Israeli government, the Netanyahu government, has not formally reacted yet to this Security Council resolution being adopted. How do you interpret this silence?
I don't think they need to act quickly. They're waiting for Hamas first to refuse it. They understand very well that Hamas will not accept the disarmament component of the mandate of the international force. But also that, in fact, from a Hamas perspective, can also be interpreted differently because it refers to disarmament of non-state actors. This is a UN language, but as far as Hamas is concerned, they see themselves as being the state in Gaza. So there will be some difference over who will be disarmed by this force. And of course, Hamas, I think they should have considered all these issues a few weeks ago, if not months ago. They entered into this mediation process. The mediators should have made it very clear to them where this is leading to. I think initially they thought of it as a peacekeeping force mandated by the United Nations, and there are different examples in the region. There was a time when there were talks about a protection force, which means that the objective is not to disarm and demilitarize the society from within, but in fact to protect them as well from Israeli attacks. But these are the issues that I think they should have asked long ago from the mediators before reaching the stage where they've already handed over the hostages and they have given a broader agreement to the 20-point plan.
Let me pick up on what you were saying about the International Stabilisation Force and its mandate. From what we understand with this resolution is that the ISF would not be a UN blue helmet operation and would operate outside traditional UN oversight mechanisms. That's problematic, isn't it? Is this good for Palestinians? Is this a model that could work?
No, it won't, because I think this is very much outside what the UN usually does. But the UN is being now used to provide a legal cover for something that has been agreed, I think, in the back corridors between a number of nations. But even if they were to accept this, I think countries will be extremely reluctant to provide forces in a situation where they can be perceived as going to be in contact with Hamas and disarming them by force. Countries who would have probably put their name to this force would have done so on the basis that Hamas had agreed to disarming and to demilitarize the Gaza Strip. Now, if Hamas saying, no, this is not what we agreed, we have a slightly different understanding of our position in relation to statehood and so on, and our control over Gaza, then those countries, I think, would be extremely reluctant to provide forces because they will be seen as the occupying force, and there will be clashes with Hamas. And I think particularly Arab countries is the last thing they want to be seen amongst their own populations as doing the dirty work of Israel.
Sultan Barakat, always good to get your thoughts. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Sultan Barakat is a professor of public policy at Hamad bin Khalifa University.